Hey guys, today let us discuss about predefined variables in MuleSoft 4. Okay, so we'll define few variables by ourselves, right, in Mule applications. So other than that, MuleSoft itself, they have given few predefined variables. Okay, so it is there in the documentation like this. Okay, so we know that we usually use these things, right, like attributes, payload, vars, etc., etc. Okay, so in actual, these are variables that were given by MuleSoft. Okay, so here they have listed few of the variables and the fields which are like the, the variable will contain. Okay, so here app will contain encoding, name, standalone, work directory, registry. So these are the fields. Okay, inside from this variable. Okay, so we have several variables like app, attributes, authentication, correlation ID, data type. Okay, error, flow, message, mule, and payload, server, and vars. So all these are like predefined variables we got from MuleSoft 4. Okay, so you see here, so you just can go through the variables and the fields that this variable contain. Okay, you see here under attributes we'll have multiple fields that we already know, and authentication also will be containing these three or four principal credentials, properties. Okay, so likewise for each and every variable we'll have different fields, and that is what we'll be using in our data view scripts or somewhere in our mule application. Okay, yeah, wherever we can write the data view script we can use populate the whatever you require. Okay, so all these variables we got by default from MuleSoft, so that is why we call it as predefined variables. Okay, so I have created a simple application. So wherever you see the transform here, I have put these variables, predefined variables. Okay, so this flow is starting with HTTP listener. Okay, the path is mule slash predefined var. Okay, and here you see here this particular transform message is having predefined variables like app, attributes, and data type. Okay, so I took few fields from each of the variables and just for demo purpose. Okay, so app name, I have framed it as a transform message. Okay, so it will print. So very next to this thing, I'm printing that the payload. So here I'm saving it this whole thing into the payload, right? So that is what I'm printing by using this logger. So the same way here, I'm taking the payload value as sample payload. Okay, and here you see uh, I have constructed a simple payload from transform message to demo on predefined variables like flow, message, and mule. Okay, these three also predefined variables. Okay, so that is what the outcome of that I'll be printing here, and just to show or give demo on payload and variables. Okay, predefined variables. So I have defined one set payload and two different variables. One is with name, the other variable is with age. Okay, and here I'll be talking about payload and vars. Okay, so that is what that payload, what we are getting out of this transform, that is what I'm printing here. And here we'll be discussing about predefined variable server, and that is what I'll be printing here. Okay, and you see in the error handling section or error handling section, I have put on error continue. So inside that, we'll be exploring about the error predefined variable. Okay, so we have covered almost all the things other than few things. So whenever you get a chance, you explore that the remaining things. Okay, yeah. So the path of this uh, HTTP listener is mule slash predefined variable, right? So I am ready with the same thing in the postman. So let's send some payload actually. Okay. So I'll put something like hello. Okay. So let me click on send. Now you'll see everything will be printed at once because the propagation is will happen from start to end, right, within this application. Okay. So initially I'm not raising any error intentionally. Okay. So it will print four loggers, one, two, three, and the last one is the fourth one. Okay. So we'll see one by one. So we got the first info, second info, third one, and the last one is here. This is the fourth one. Okay. So let me copy all these things and we'll compare these things with the transform message component so that we'll understand what is written in what. Okay. So let me remove this thing. This is unnecessary for now. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah. So this is the outcome of the first transform message, right? This is the outcome of this particular transform message. What we have kept here, you see what we have kept is like app name. Okay, app name. So app name is what? Application name. That is this one, right? This is the application. And we can have multiple mule configuration files. So this is the application. And the name of the application is predefined hyphen variables. So that is what it has printed here. Okay, the second one is encoding, right? UTF-8 is the encoding. Okay, it's a default encoding. Okay, and HTTP version. Okay, so this I am pulling it from attributes variable. So till now, the first two keys, the values are fetched from app predefined variable. Now I'm getting the HTTP version from attributes predefined variable. Okay, so attributes dot version. You could see the version of HTTP is 1.1 because I mean here we this is HTTP connector, right? So the version of that particular uh, HTTP protocol, okay, that is 1.1. Okay. Now correlation ID. This is similar to UUID, but there is some difference. Okay. But when you talk about the what it prints when you use correlation ID, this is how I mean this is what it prints, and it varies actually. You send five requests to this application, it will print five different variables, five different values. Okay. So this is what correlation ID predefined variable is all about. And if we talk about data type, okay, data type of message. Now you see here, what is the type of this message? That is text, right? Hello, and the type of this is text. Okay, so if you see here, this is the whole value of this data type. Okay, now you see here, you could see something like primary type, that is text, and subtype is plain, and few other details, whether it is stream type or not. Okay, media type. So this way, so this is the information what we'll be getting out of this data type predefined variable. Okay, so yeah. So now let us see about the second transform. I'm deleting this. Okay. So now let us explore the second transforms result. Okay, deleting this. So yeah. So now you see here, this is the one we'll be talking about, right? Now if you see flow name, uh, so here we'll be discussing about predefined variables flow, message, and mule. So flow name is like flow dot name is what I have kept here. Now you see uh, the flow name here. I'm hovering here, right? Predefined hyphen variables flow. So that is what it has shown here, right? So that is this is the flow name. This way we can populate flow name wherever you require. It all depends upon your requirement. Okay. Now I'm simply printing the message. So we know, right? It is a part of um, mule 4 event. Okay. So this is the message value. Okay. So till here, if I maximize this, so from here to starting from here till here, it is the value of the message. So it contains two things. One is payload, the other is attributes. Okay, this we already know. Okay, so these are the attributes. Okay, that we got. So message is a predefined variable, and inside that we'll have two more predefined variables that are nothing but payload and attributes. So here, as I have set the set payload value as sample payload, okay, you could see the payload value as sample payload here. from the message that is coming from here. Okay, so maximizing this, and these are the attributes till here, from starting from here till here. Okay, so we are done with message predefined variable, which will contain payload and attributes. Okay, now if you see, I just extracted message payload. If you see that in the transform message, okay, so this is how I have configured. See, message hyphen payload. I'm extracting the payload value, message dot payload. Okay, so it has printed the payload. Even if you use payload directly, it will work. Okay, because it's a predefined variable. And you see, I'm printing or extracting message attributes from the message. So you see, the whatever we have seen uh, in the message, okay, this thing. So we have extracted those two things. That is nothing but payload and attributes. That is what we have printed separately till here. Okay. Now you see, after message attributes, now you could see something like mule home, right? See, so mule home. So what is the home directory, okay, of this Anypoint Studio? Something like whenever you print mule home, this is what it will be showing. Okay. And I have printed, I'm using mule version, mule cluster ID, mule node ID. So as we are checking this application or testing this application in our local, we'll be not able to see the cluster ID or node ID, right? Obviously. Okay. So that is the reason we did not get any proper values for cluster ID and node ID. Okay. But we could see some proper values for home and version 4.3.0. Maybe this is the timestamp where the runtime got updated very recently. I mean, or the update for that runtime has happened on this date very recently, something like that. Okay, latest update. Okay, that is as per my assumption. Okay, but this is the version value. I mean the mule version in the sense it's runtime, actually runtime version. Okay, so we are done with this transform message as well. Now you see here I have set payload as hello world, and here I'm using the name as Hari and his age as 20. Okay, now you see here I'm simply taking like here our focus is on payload and vars predefined variables. So if we go through the third, okay, let me delete this till home. Okay, now we are left with sorry, yeah, two more things. One is regarding the payload, the other is regarding the variables, right? So if you cross verify with this payload value, so I'm printing the payload here, which is a predefined variable. Again, you see I'm printing variables here. So vars itself is a predefined variable. So what it will contain, as the name suggests, it will contain all the variable, uh, I mean all the variables as key value pairs. The where the key is the variable name and value is the variable's value. So here you could see, as I have taken two variables here, you could see whenever I'm printing vars, it has printed name and key and the corresponding values as key value pairs. Okay, so this is the value of vars. Okay, now in the in I mean variable value, so vars dot name. So out of the available variables, I'm only pulling the value of variable name. Okay, so that is the reason it has printed Hari here. Okay, now let us talk about the final one, final or last but one. Okay, so here, though, I mean, so we'll be exploring about server predefined variable. Okay, let me delete this. Oh, not all. Home delete. Now you see here, control. Yeah. Now you see here. So server IP, I have intentionally commented this because it is printing all my environment variables. Okay. So env in the sense server's environment variables. Okay. So I have commented that, and server IP, this is my IPv4, okay, value, and server.java version, this is the Java version, okay, which is installed in my system. Okay, and you see the operating system OS name is nothing but operating system name, Windows 10, and servers. Username is nothing but my login name. Okay, my username for this particular account. Okay, so this is how you can fetch. We have lot many under server. Okay, we have so many. Okay, but a few things I uh, just to demo it, I have only considered few actually. Okay, so and the last and final one is about the error. So this we all know. Okay, it is also a predefined variable. Okay, now in order to get that, we have to intentionally raise an error, right? So that is the reason I have configured this. Okay, so whenever we so if we send the request once again now, so it will throw an error, right? Because 10 by 0 it will result into an error. So it got deployed. Let me clear. Okay, so let me clear this. Just send the same thing as a request once again. Click on send. See, now we got error payload as a, I mean, whatever I have constructed the payload with. So I have put error description and error type and error detailed description. Okay, so these three things. So error is a predefined variable, and these are the fields: description, error type, detailed description, all the fields. Okay, from that variable. Okay, so I'm using, or I have populated three values. So now you see here error description, we could see something here, right? Division by 0, etc., etc. Okay, this thing. Okay, so this is the error description, and you see error type. So from here till here, it is the error type only. Okay, so it's a mule, and identifier is expression error. Namespace is mule, and identifier is expression. So it's a mule expression error. Okay, and this is the detailed description of that error. The same thing mostly. So few errors we may need the detailed description to understand it fully. So that's why they have given this thing, detailed description field in the error predefined variable. Okay, so this is all about today's session. Okay, so we have covered almost all the things from this thing like predefined variables. Okay, just play with these things. So this is like little fun to learn, and also in real time we will use it based upon the your requirement. Okay, so I hope you understood or and also got something out of this, and thank you so much for listening to my video. Thank you.